Hi everyone, we're here at CTIA 2011 and we're talking to our friend John from Kyocera Communications, and you've got a really cool device you're going to show. This is the Echo, which is a dual screen smartphone, first ever, right?
That's right, Keith. This is Kyocera Echo. This is the first dual touchscreen smartphone on the market. It's an Android device. It's going to be launching with Sprint on April 17th. They're going to launch this at $199. They're also starting on March 26th a Reserve Now program for the phone, so people can get their reservations in early and pick the phone up as it launches.
Okay.
So this, as you can see, nice 3.5-inch high resolution, your kind of typical single screen smartphone, Android smartphone
Right,
device.
looks like a normal smartphone, but then voila.
Right, so from there you can pop it open, and you've got the dual displays. So now instead of the 800 by 480, you've got 1600 by 960, a lot more real estate to work with. The displays work complementary to each other. And there are really 4 ways you can use this device. The first we talked about in that single screen mode, runs Android applications just like any other Android device would. But once you get into the dual display configuration, you've got 3 ways you can use it that are really cool. The first is something we call simultask, and that's trademarked to this phone because there's no other phone that can do it. And what that means is using the 2 displays side by side independently of each other. So, for example, if I open the browser, you'll see it gives me a nice full screen experience.
Yep.
I can also turn it with the accelerometer, get it this way. Simply by touching both screens at the same time, you can see it gives me a list of the core applications on the phone. And I can choose another application to run side by side with the browser. So if I'm looking up information at a store, for example, and want to send it off to somebody, I can go in here and open email. Oops. And now it works nicely in the portrait
so you still got the web browser on the left.
Web browser's still running.
And now your email app is running on the right.
And now your email's running on the right. So you can be composing email in this display while you're browsing on this side. You can have 2 browsers going. You can have your browser and texting. You can have your contacts open so you can send off that information to somebody. That's what we call simultask, and that's unique to this phone as the only dual touchscreen device. The third way you can use the device, and it's actually something we call optimized, because it lets the 2 displays work in complementary functionality with each other on a single application.
Like a video viewer app, right?
Yeah, a nice way to look at it is something we call ViewQ. This is a proprietary application we've written for the phone. If you open this application, you can see this is for YouTube, and it lets you watch YouTube videos. You can have the full top display, the whole 3.5-inch display dedicated to watching that video. But while you do that, if you look below, you can be searching and looking for other videos that you're going to want to watch. Once you find one, if you say Crazy Eyes on the People's Court, you can pull it right over into the queue. Oops, now it's not cooperating with me. I think I've got too much queued up right now.
Right?
That's right, but by simply dragging it to this side, what it does is it queues the video and buffers it for you. So as your first video stops, you can actually pull these right up and they'll play right away.
Now in this mode it looks a lot like kind of a Nintendo DS gaming kind of a thing, so it seems like gaming apps will be great on this thing.
Well, it's actually good you mentioned that. We're launching a developer program for this, but already in the works are a bunch of optimized applications, including games. We're launching the Kyocera Android developer program. Already on board from a gaming standpoint are big names like EA, Namco, Gameloft, and there'll be probably north of a dozen games at the launch, and that of course is going to grow steadily as the device is out on the market, but that use this optimized functionality. You can get games right out of the box from Android Market, and they'll run across the 2 displays in a bigger format. But when we say optimized, we're talking about something that uses both displays. In gaming, it's typically play your game on the top and have the controls on the bottom.
Right. All right, now the 4th mode is kind of like a tablet mode, I would assume, using all of the real estate, right?
That's right. So we've gone through single screen, we've gone through simultask, optimized, and you're right, the last one is what we call tablet mode. What you can see here, this is actually an optimized application written for the device. This is the photo gallery on the device. And you can see you've got all your thumbnails on the bottom, you've got your full-size image on the top. You can switch between the images. You can see you can play a slideshow here and go through. But what you can also do is simply by pressing and holding the image, you can draw it across the full screen. Now, I don't have video on this phone yet because it's brand new out of the box, but you can imagine playing video, whether it's a movie, whether it's YouTube in the browser, that type of thing. By taking an application, this works really well for navigation with maps, and spreading it across the full display, you can get a really rich user experience. It's a 4.7-inch combined display, and you can compare that to a standard single display phone, and you've got so much more real estate to work with.
Now talk about the camera and the video on that. It's pretty good, right?
So yeah, the phone comes with a 5-megapixel camera. And it also does 720p HD video. I'd be remiss as I did that if I didn't tell you a little bit about the hinge on this phone, too.
Right.
The hinge is really the secret sauce to the whole device. And what you saw is it allows you to have a seam between the two displays that's less than 5 millimeters. And this is a hinge that also completely disappears when the phone is in a single display format. It's made of a super copper alloy. It's got 6 patents pending on it right now. It's so unique. And that's what really enables that dual screen functionality for the device.
Now, when I was watching all of that stuff, I was like, oh, well, this must be on a 4G network, but this runs on 3G, right?
The phone is launching with 3G service with Sprint. Sprint's nationwide 3G network runs at great speeds, and what we found is that for most of the applications on this device, things like that ViewQ YouTube viewer, that 3G service is really strong. What I will say about 4G and the future of this is we see this as a first-generation device, and Kyocera is totally committed to this dual platform or dual screen platform. Mm-hmm. So you can expect to see more coming along that line from Kyocera.
Right. So this isn't just a quick gimmick or a fad. This is what the future of phones will be like.
No, and it's a cultural shift that's going on, Keith. You've got people. If you look at people's desktop computers, so many have 2 displays on their desktop computers. Research shows people who watch TV, about 70% are doing something else with electronics at the same time, whether they're on their computer, playing with their iPod, iPad, something like that. So this multitasking capability that you get with dual displays that you can't get from a single display phone, we think is really a trend that you're going to see more of in the future.
All right, John, thanks a lot. Again, this is the Echo, and it'll be out on Sprint when again?
April 17th, $199. You can reserve now starting March 26th at sprint.com/echo.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.